there's a news story about a police officer who got beat up and pistol whipped with his own gun because he did not want to be seen as a racist cop shooting a black person. Yes, that's right. Key and Peele had did a skit alluding to something similar, where the cop won't shoot the criminal, so the criminal ends up driving off. So here's my thing. Just like I said about Black Lives Matter, if cops' lives matter and you don't want to shoot your gun, what martial art was made to complement firearm skills? According to the book, The Killing Art and Untold Story. That art is Taekwondo. From personal experience, I've known cops to train in Taekwondo or Tang Sudo and Judo. Those are two arts I can teach. I can teach you Taekwondo. I could technically teach you Tang Sudo too, but I was a black belt candidate in that, not a black belt. So I got a brown with a stripe on it in that. I can teach you Taekwondo and Judo though. Those are the two main staples of Cecil Ryu martial arts, along with some exposure to boxing. So if you want to be a cop and you want to take down suspects without using your firearm or your taser or your nightstick, or without backup, you should study a martial art. And this is not my idea of, oh, look at this civilian, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Some of the instructors I've had to work with over the years were police officers. Some of my instructors have trained police officers. One of the pivotal judo instructors I had, he used to when he ran this club for a while, that club was nothing but police officers. So, what are you waiting on? Of course, if you're in the PG County area in Maryland, I'd like for you to study with me. But if you don't want to do that, I'm just saying, if you want to be bad enough to arrest somebody without using a weapon, you need to take a martial art. As far as what style to take, I think you probably would be safer procedure-wise if you took Judo, because Judo doesn't teach you to strike primarily at the lower levels. BJJ, I have nothing against BJJ as a style. I just think that from the way it's presented, there's too much emphasis on ground fighting, and you don't want to do that if you're a police officer. You want to put them on the ground. Now, that being said, I know for a fact that just because BJJ is presented that way, that does not mean you're not going to learn any judo elements, especially since BJJ comes from judo. Plenty of BJJ instructors have very strong judo backgrounds, whether they know it or not. They have very strong judo backgrounds. So if you want to tussle with somebody, I would recommend judo. But I still say you need some Taekwondo in there, because to know how to handle a strike, you need to learn how to block a strike. Once you learn that in judo, of course you can learn that in judo. They do that in kata, and you won't get that right away. It's like Taekwondo has throws and joint locks in them, and you can use those techniques to take somebody down to the ground safely, but you don't tend to learn those right away. So, that's what I got. Police, I'm going to put a link to the story in the description box. Yes, a police officer tried to arrest someone without using a weapon, and the police officer got pistol whipped until he was unconscious. So again, if blue lives matter, I think that's what you say for cops. If blue lives matter, and this individual was a Caucasian American, so if blue lives matter, if white lives matter, why don't you bring those lives into one of my classes if you're near me, so you can learn to protect the life that matters.